Hello, it is me. I'm back. What's up? I'm doing a Spirit of the North any percent walkthrough of the any percent speed run, basically for anyone who's interested in doing it and maybe just needs the little push to know what they're doing before they start. I'm gonna do as much in detail as I possibly can here. I mean, still being mindful of how much time I'm spending on a single jump, you know, because there's only like a few that really matter, and the other ones you can get easily. There's just a lot of running. So here I'm going to start the timer, and we're going to go. So the very first thing you want to do is up there. If you go to the top of the hill, there's a cutscene, and you can walk around it. If you go either to the right or to the left, the right is faster, so I suggest you go to the right. But yeah, that's what we're doing now, and basically I'm just aiming for, see the right where the fox's head is sort of a crevice, and then I aim for the red thing when I get towards the hill, and that way I just barely go around it, pretty much, because it's right on top of there. And then you just go straight here, and it's really hard to try and find a way out of bounds here, surprisingly. Like, you think you could go over there, but it just doesn't work for some reason, for me at least. I don't know. If you find a way, then good on you. But this way's faster, I think, probably. There's one spot up here on the right where you can glitch out, and that is that's what we're going for. If I could stop stuttering here with the frames, losing some frames. Right here. So you're coming down here, almost going into the cave, and then right, you squeeze yourself in here, and then when you get to the top, you jump to the right. And it's kind of hard, but once you got it, you got it. It's not too difficult to nail down. Then you just jump over here. If you get stuck like this, you can go backwards and jump again. There's also a way if you jump far enough that you'll just land over here. Do not jump over that way, because you will soft lock yourself on the out of bounds section. You have to jump far towards the edge. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go around and through the wall. And now we get to just run through the map, because they left all this platform up here for us to use. And I mean, you could hypothetically go to the end of the level, but you don't know how to sprint right now, and it's much faster if you learn the sprint ability before you do that. It's kind of odd. You just like know it all of a sudden somehow. It's kind of weird how they do that. They don't just give it to you from the start. But you'll see up here in a second. So you want to jump up this way, up there, and then go straight. Don't go to the left there, down that tunnel. I've messed up a bunch of times doing that. You want to go down this tunnel, the one after it. And now that you're in here, you just jump down. And you go back this way from the way you jumped down. Take the right. Take another right. And now we can just learn to sprint. Now we sprint. It's always interesting. And I'm using an older version. I've downgraded it because they patched out a couple skips in chapter 3 in the newer versions. So I mean, you can run the newer version, it's just you have to do the puzzle at the very end of chapter 3 instead of just skipping it. It's like an extra 4 minutes, you know. I mean, they might add your own category if you're upload enough runs. So I suggest doing it. I've done a couple too. If you can't downgrade on Steam or something. And we're just running along here, little fox. going down the hill. And again, I think there's a way to get out of bounds here that I've tried, but it's much faster somehow to just follow the ice road. Why am I losing so many frames? Is there something open? No, there isn't anything open. I don't know. I don't know why it's being so spazzy. You know, I think it's usually just chapter 1 that's like this, and then it gets better later on. So, we'll hope for that. Just running along, you know. There's really only one way to go. I mean, you can optimize, like, what route you're taking so that it's less time, you know, but there's only one way you can go at this point. So you shouldn't get lost. No, I can't take this anymore. 1 second. I am going to... The resolution's going down, and that should make the frames go much higher. There we go. Much smoother, I think. Still a little stuttering, but it's not nearly as bad. And yeah, you can sort of like drift on the snow here if you're fast enough. It doesn't work if you land on the gray parts, like the solid ground. But if you land on the snow, if you look here, I'm going to do it just now. You can sort of drift like that. So it keeps a little speed. It's kind of hard to do, but once you get the hang of it. And then here, our friend is going to appear. And remove the wall for us. Now we can just finish the level normally. You know, I think it's a little faster to jump on the ice, by the way. So I always do that. I mean, I'm not sure. I guess it's sort of faster because you skip having to go up and down constantly. You just like take a straighter path. If that makes sense. But yeah, here we are, we're finishing chapter 1. I mean, not nearly as poor on time as I thought we would be after explaining all that. Alright, now we have to wait for the fox to do her thing. And the timer stops now. And we start again once the cutscene starts here. There. Okay. Now, this level is just, it's awful compared to everything else. It's the slowest. You're basically limping around as a dog. But I mean, it's a nice break before Chapter 3. Chapter 3 is difficult. So I don't know. If you can stand just walking for 6.5 minutes, then that's what you have to do here. Basically. I think I've gotten it down, what is that? My best is a 651.8. So sub 7 minutes. But it's really hard to optimize any further than that. There might be a clip that we're missing. I couldn't find any. And it's also really hard because you can't jump here. So like, you can't go up that way. It's a very pretty game though, and you should definitely check it out if you haven't already. It was just recently on sale for $10. It's half off. I don't think it is anymore, but you know, for a game that has dedicated bark and tail wag buttons, I think it's worth it. You know, it's $20. It's very pretty. Bark. He's gonna light up all the murals for us, but eventually we're gonna lose him because he's so far behind. He's just gonna stop and wait for us forever. And then no more murals will light up. We are now 2 minutes into the 6 minutes and 50 seconds that we have to do here. Oh. Or just drink a coffee or something while you're waiting. It's kind of annoying because there's a real like a run killer jump in chapter 3, so you have to sit through chapter 1 and chapter 2 every time, and if you fuck up chapter 3 then it's just over. It's kind of really hard to play perfectly for 40 minutes straight, I guess, but you know, you get there, and there's really not that many people running, so if you just submit a time you'll be in the top 5 probably, if you're getting like a sub 50. Again, highly suggest it if you haven't. Highly suggest getting the game if you haven't. You really have to read into things to know what's going on plot-wise, because basically you're just a fox going from one place to the next place, and there's like a whole corruption thing, and there's spirits. It's based on Iceland, which is really pretty, and it would be prettier if I could turn the graphics up, but I can't for sake of risking the frames again while I'm recording. Why am I stuttering here? Bark. 4 minutes in. I'll put a timestamp in when I finish the video to skip to, I think. Or, because I'm not going to be able to edit this is the problem. I've still figured out how to edit successfully without crashing my computer, because I use up all the RAM. If it's too long, I mean if it's like sub 30 minutes then it can do it, but if it's longer than 30 minutes then it just, my computer can't handle it. And I think it's the same for any editing software. I could just buy more RAM, I guess. I don't know. But here we're just gonna walk down. There's going to be a little cutscene for a whole minute once we reach that spot down there through the water. And again, you really can't get lost in chapter 2 and most of chapter 1. It's really easy. You just have to know what you're doing in chapter 1 pretty much. Chapter 3 it gets a little more difficult. Here I'm going to pause the timer so it's going to be lowless. Restart it when the cutscene happens. Just so you know where to do that. The timer I'm using, by the way, is called Yanfair, I think. It's LLANFAIR is the name. I got it off of GitHub. Because I use a Linux distribution. I use Pop OS, which is really nice, but you can't run a lot of the timers out there because they're built specifically for Windows. Even if you try to use Wine to emulate it or whatever, it doesn't work. I don't know why, but it's fine. This one works just fine. Here I'm going to pause the timer again once the cutscene ends. It was like a whole minute there. Nope, paused. And start it again. And I have to go across the water and up the hill. So right now I have to be mindful of not losing sprint, because in the older version they you could lose your stamina pretty easily, and in the new one you can just sprint infinitely, so you shouldn't have to worry about that if you're playing on the newer version. You can just spam the sprint button. Chapter 3. Alright, this is where it gets a little trickier. I jump up this way, this way, this way, and we jump just before the cutscene happens, just to get a little time. Our friend's following us. She's gonna help us get energy, the spirit energy from the flowers, you know, because that makes sense, but it's fine. So here I have to pause for a second and not sprint, or I'll run out of stamina. I'll show you what that's like later. I think I'm on release 1.02, if you're curious, and that's how I'm skipping the section at the end here that I'll show you. So here you just want to jump onto this. It's kind of difficult. You have to go from this angle, and then you want to come around it and jump at the very edge, and you'll hit that. It takes some practice. Then we're going to come up here and jump straight across this way. Again, take some practice, but I'm sure it's not the hardest thing in the world. Bark and get the flower. Come this way and activate the bridge. I'm going to stand here for the cutscene so we can pick up the energy again afterwards. We'll save a little bit of time later. So there, I pressed E, I got it. And now we come up here, go into the corner and angle yourself so you're looking at that piece that's coming out there. And you just want to jump straight at it at the very last second and jump up straight after that. And there you go. Here you can skip this whole section by just going over here. And up. And up. And over. And look, that's all skipped. This way. Here. And now this is probably the trickiest jump in the whole run. So I like to angle myself like this way along the edge of that you know, six-sided shape, whatever. And then you want to aim farther to the right than the left. You see that crack right there in between those two rocks? You want to aim right where the fox's ear is. You see that sort of line there? Right where the left ear is. So I'm going to do that now. And you're going to jump. Oh, I fucked it up. It's fine. Try again. Again, it's really, really hard. But this, after you get this, you're basically home free. So you do that. You have to press the front and the left buttons at the same time when you're landing on the rock, or else you're going to fall off. And then you jump straight up that way and straight up this way, and you can jump over. And you want to make sure you jump all the way, or else you soft lock yourself down there. Come over here, bark at the flower. Oh, I was a little slow, but you're supposed to bark at the flower and stand on it to get it. We're going to do it really quickly here. Well, yeah, like that. So you stand here and bark at it, and your friend would make it open for you while you're in the cutscene. So they're going to jump like this, so that you don't have to go in the water here. There is a way, if you do fall in the water, to get out. You have to come around and straight and jump as you're coming up that way. A little bit difficult, but not the worst thing in the world. Doesn't lose a lot of time. And then there is a way to jump up there, but like that's super hard. So usually what I do is I do this, I take it back, and I jump like that. So it loses like 2 seconds, but it's not a considerable amount of time, you know. Here I am on the older version, so this block is here, but if you're playing on the newer version, it's going to be over here. So you can't make this jump I'm about to do. So you're going to have to go in there and activate the geyser first, which loses some time as well. But here you can basically just do that if you're in the older version. And then you want to run straight this way so you can jump up as soon as the geyser spouts out over there on the right. The first time, I mean. So you don't miss it, is what I'm trying to say. You don't want to miss the geyser the first time, and then that loses time because you have to wait for it to pop up again here. See, like it's gone now. Next section. There's a couple ways to do this part. Basically, you have to go over there in the normal game and solve a puzzle. Here, you can just skip by going and jumping at the last second there. I prefer, because this is more reliable, to go this way, jump off of that, and come up on here and go around, because that's much more reliable than the jump that you have to make in the middle of the water. And then you come this way, jump up the cantilevers, levers, whatever you want to call them. Come around this way. And this is the puzzle that normally you'd have to solve if you're playing on the newer version. After this, the game is exactly the same on both. So here you'd have to get the bark ability from that big red stone over there by going around and doing the puzzle. But I'm going to show you, if you're playing on the older version, you can just come up here and it will allow you to jump still, whereas in the newer one you cannot jump. And even if you could, they blocked it off, this area, so they saw people skipping this and they didn't like it, so they blocked that off. But now I'm going to stop the timer, and you know, we're 3 minutes behind pace, but it's still going to be like a sub 45 maybe. No, it's not going to be sub 45, sub 50. Okay, I think this is the last spot where it's different. So here, there's a cutscene trigger right there. If you're on the older version, you can go around it this way and go up that way. If you're on the newer version, there's no way around it. You have to sit through the cutscene. It's like 15 seconds. It just shows you the mountain in the distance. It's not a big deal, but it is a time save. And here, I am out of stamina. You can hear him panting. So I'm not able to run for like an absurd amount of time, like 10-15 seconds there. That was stupid. So typically what I do is I sprint jump 3 times, and then I count 3 seconds, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, and then I do it again. And that way I run out of stamina far less often. And yeah, I mean, you just follow the path that I'm taking. It's not very complicated yet. There's one very tricky jump here later, once you get to the major skip, or one of the 2 major skips here. So here, I've come up this way. We're going to stop at this sort of messed up archway and jump up the side of the mountain here. And jump here. Now that we're on this rock, we can go around. Sometimes that'll happen to you. Go around left. You want to be on the left side of this sort of edge and position yourself so you can jump straight up onto this one. Jump up again onto this one, and again, and then you want to jump to the right, and then you're good to go. You're out of bounds. So we can hop up this way. Whoops, this way. Go down here, and this is the tricky jump. You will get soft locked down there if you do not make it. So you have to aim for the corner right there, a little bit to the left of it, and just go for it. And now once you're in the air, you can angle your camera right so that you'll go farther to the right. If you go to the left, you will get boxed in there, and you have to restart because it'd be soft locked in the out of bounds area. But basically, we just skipped a whole section there where you have to go into the spirit world and fix something. And now we can just run over here, and there's another skip that saves a ton of time. Again, I'm out of sprint because I'm on the older version. Go 1003, 1000, 1002, 1003, 1000, 1002, 1003, 1000, 1002, 1003, 1000. You get the idea. It's kind of a really laid back run. I mean, it's not if you're trying to get a super good time. Okay, so this is the last skip. You just come up and jump where I jumped. And you see in the bottom right corner where it says chapter progress saving, I'll stop the timer and quit. And now, when I press continue, that just glitched me into the chapter 5 save zone. So I'll spawn in chapter 5 and I'll get to skip the whole like 3/4 of chapter 4 there. There we go. Now we need to bark over here and get a flower. Come down this way. And normally you'd have to activate the jumpy thing, but you can just jump around here and come up this way. Skip it. Gonna come down this way. And just basically this chapter is a whole lot of running. It's just a lot of running, which is kind of boring, but you know. If it's you can treat it as more of a relaxing thing, then it becomes fun. Because he's still running and jumping and using the wanky, janky physics to get around here. Because they really, I don't know what it is, but this game just feels so janky at times in terms of the fox moving, which is good for getting out of bounds. Like if they had made it much smoother in terms of the controls, I feel like it'd be much more difficult to find ways to get out of the map here. It's very freeing at the same time as being hard to control. So we're just going to come up the hill here. Something I forgot to mention back there was when you jump out of the water, you have to press the space key, and that'll save you from doing this dog splashing off the water animation. Did I never start the timer for chapter 5? I never started the timer. That's weird. You know, it's okay. We'll have to save us a couple of minutes. Here, so we're gonna come up this way. I'll take my time explaining it, and you jump straight towards that brick there that you see that's jutting out, and you want to land on it. No, I missed it. Or you could do that. That works too. But you basically you want to end up here where I am, and then you jump around and up, and you just skip that whole section there by going up the water slide where you shouldn't be able to. Next skip, come up here, jump straight up, and you come to this peak here on the very edge, and you jump up towards the green patches, if I could do it. And sometimes you get a fun thing where you just can't jump for some reason. There we go. That's always great. So it like punishes you for screwing up. And then we jump to the left, jump to the right, jump to the left, jump to the right, basically just crisscrossing up the hill. Now once we're up here, I'm on the older version, so I have to do this and climb around. But if you were in the newer version, this would be, there'd be no clip here, so you could just walk through it. So it's faster a little bit. And now that we're around, we just walk straight to the mountain. This is like another 3 minutes of my life that I'm gonna have to do. But you know, you could just, if you got like someone you're texting or something, or something you wanna drink or make some popcorn, you know, it's a relaxing sort of thing. I like it how there's a lot of space between the hard parts, so you have time to mentally prepare. Just gonna keep going this way for the next 2 minutes. That's where we came from, down there. Going towards the red circle. And now because we're going around the entire level here, a lot of this stuff doesn't load at the end. So you're gonna see, like, at the very end I can just kind of jump into the load zone, whereas normally you'd have to activate one of the dead men, like you'll see in the next level that we still have to activate the dead men and free them with whatever their staffs, you know. They're sort of collectibles. But yeah, you could just jump into the save zone and it'll take you to chapter 6. I'm gonna get a better time here than my best time. That's unfortunate. That's fine, I won't save the run. So yeah, we just run up this way, up the edge of the mountain. Towards the top, and once you reach this ridge here, you can start to go over this way. And now we leap of faith down here, like that. You can go a little farther and it'll be less risky, but that's the way to do it. And now we come up around this edge, and you can see down here there's nothing loaded, so you can just jump straight down and it'll take you to the next level, which is nice. Alright, here we are in chapter 6. Now we can boost when we're powered up here by pressing F, which is really helpful because it allows a lot of skips like this one. You just jump off the top there and around here. If you can't do it, that's fine. It's like 3 extra seconds to come up and come around this way. It's not a big deal. And then, you know, you do the thing where you release the orb or whatever, the plague tether they're called, I think, canonically. There's a way, so what I just did there, when you're picking up the rod, if you press E, it cancels the animation. so it saves a couple seconds. I'll put this down, bark, pick up the rod, press E to cancel, and get the power up again. Boom, and we put him on the dead man. Go to the door here, and he'll let us through now. Me, you, and the she-fox. That's the little orb right now. Now we come over here and we get close and we bark, and then we have to run very quickly over to this door. Now there's a cutscene where she turns red and gets corrupted, and she goes through the door. And typically, you'd have to I still don't know how to solve this puzzle correctly. I've cheesed it 3 times by jumping off of stuff back there and going around. But you can just walk through the door. So now I have this rod. I'm gonna come up this way, go around, and then this is another hard jump. You have to jump here, here, and then there's a ton of ways to do this. But the way that's most consistent that I found is you jump straight up onto this ledge here, and then around and aim straight this way, and when you boost, you'll land either here or around that corner. And then you can just jump up, backwards and up, and you'll be able to get up when you boost forward again. Do that, jump up here to save a couple seconds, or 1 second maybe. Now obviously we're leaving the power up behind, the flower power, spirit power thing, so we're going to have to get that later, and I'll show you how. But here, this is another tricky jump. Basically, you want to be very very simply, very straightforward, just jump, jump, jump. Oop, I messed up. Jump, jump, come on. I got the glitch where you can't jump again. Okay, we're gonna do this over again and do it slower. So, boom, 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 and then straight this way, straight this way, straight this way. It's kind of difficult, but once you nail it, it's you know it, you know? And now we just jump here. Oh, I missed the jump, but typically you jump before the cutscene happens, so you get close to the door. As usual. Now we're gonna come up here, hit the bell, then we pause the timer and quit. And when we go back into the save, we will have the blue power again, so we can dash, which will make things much easier. So the next and I think the final skip of this chapter is you come up here and you jump onto this, and then you jump here, and once you're here you can jump backwards and dash this way, and again, and you're up top, and this is where you want to be. So now we come around and we finish the level. We could skip the whole puzzle there. Just keep dashing this way. Again, if you're on the newer version, you can't jump while you're here. You can only dash. Which, I mean, you're not supposed to have the dash ability, so it saves time, but you can't jump and save time that way either. And here we just pass away, we decease, and come this way. And now we're supposed to be barking at the spirit dog orb, but it got left behind, so it's a little awkward. And stop the timer. Did I really not do that either? Oh, okay, I didn't do chapter 6 either. No, I did. That's confusing. Why? You know what? I'm not gonna question it. It's fine. The time. I'm just timer difficulties. Now our chapter 7. There's a lot of ways to get out of bounds here, but the best way is if you come up here, you get the flower so you can boost, And no matter what version you're on, you're not going to lose sprint here anymore. It's just because you're dead, I guess. I don't know. It's just what the game decided. The developers, like, yeah, you can just sprint forever now that you're dead. Okay, so we're going to come up here, jump on this rock, and then boost while you're jumping, and boost again, and you're over the top. You're out of bounds. And now we just run towards the castle at the end. You can come to the left here, around that big rock you see in front of me, big hill. This is a little faster than going up against the edge. So go around the big hill. And basically you just want to keep going straight this direction. There's a couple markers that you can look out for too, to know where you are. Like I'm a little too far right there. Keep going left. Because you will hit the wall if you keep going right, and then it's kind of just like lost time. But yeah, you can boost every 2 seconds, so don't forget to do that. I usually forget, and I do every 3 seconds for some reason, because my brain likes that. But here we ran straight, and then you see this rock here. You're always going to see the rock. You want to go to the right of the rock. And there's like a little area here where you can boost through and get back into the map. And then we're just going to run through the rest of the thing normally. Now skipping most of the level there, it makes it so stuff doesn't load normally in the castle, fortress, temple thing here. So there's going to be like missing walls and stuff, which is always fun. And I'll show you those. But it's not a big deal. It actually saves time because you can walk through somewhere where there should be a wall, which I'll show you as well. You can come up here, and again, you should probably play the game first. You should definitely at least play it once, maybe twice through before you do this. So you get the full experience, and then you know what you're doing as well. So like here, it completely didn't load this wall, nor that wall, but you want to go in the door. I'm just going to keep going here, and once again, didn't load any walls. Huh, you know, I was just thinking about something, but whatever. And then it doesn't load these like cage thingies that stop you from going in, and you have to go all the way around. So it's nice. You can just skip that going around. Now this is just like you have to know what you're doing here. So you put in your energy, whatever, and it heals the fox who's corrupted right over there. She's supposed to come this way with you, but again, the animations just like bug out when you do this. So she's just gonna appear here. Don't forget to grab your energy. You know, I totally forgot part. Okay, so before any of this happens, you just want to make sure that you come over this way and activate the door first. And then what you're going to do is go back and wait for the cutscene. And once the fox, like, she is laying down and then she'll jump up and jump around, that's when you can, immediately when that happens, you jump and you just run. And you can check to make sure she's following you, but she will be following you. That's pretty much, I mean, you know, I won't guarantee, but like 90% of the time, 99% of the time, she's following you when you wait for her to jump up. But you just, like I forgot to there, but you have to remember to activate the door first while the cutscene's happening, so that the door saves a couple of seconds by opening before you have to leave. And you do that by just running up to it and waiting for the blue light to shine, and then you run back and grab your energy and wait for the dog to come back, the fox. They bark like dogs, so it's hard not to call them dogs. because foxes don't bark. Don't know why the developers made that choice, but you know, it's artistic. And you have to, okay, so I didn't explain why you have to wait for the fox. You have to wait for the fox, or else this road won't spawn. And if the road doesn't spawn, then you're losing probably like 30 or 40 seconds by running through the map normally, which isn't fun. So you want this to spawn. So it's worth waiting the 10 seconds for the dog to come back to life. Because your friend will let you skip like half of the running, which is nice. And at this point, you're done. You've done all the hard stuff. The hard part of the run is over. Now, it's just time to finish up. So you can save like probably a couple seconds, but that's it. We go back and press the time button here. A little scattered, but that's okay. Alright, this is chapter 8. It's like 30 seconds. So basically you know that you can't lose more than a couple seconds here, which is nice. And chapter 7 is really easy not to lose time either. So like after you're done with chapter 6, which has some hard jumps, you're home free. And we're just gonna come up the mountain. Again, if you have the newer version, you can just sprint. I have to stop every few seconds because look, I ran out of energy right there. It's how fast it goes when you're running uphill. And we stop it when we land on the pressure plate. So that was a 41:36, which is a pretty respectable time right now, as there aren't many runs out there. And now the run is complete. We just have to wait for the fox to come up. So you can either stay here and keep recording until the final cutscene happens, or you can just stop now because the run's over once you hit the pressure plate. But yeah, that's the any % run of Spirit of the North. I hope this helps someone with their attempts in the future, or encourages people to try and attempt it, so the community can grow and be more than just 4 people. I'll put the Discord link in the description, so make sure that you go and get in the official speedrun.com Spirit of the North Discord. It's in the description, like I just said. And just remember to like and subscribe if you're into the gaming sort of laid-back content. I do some speed runs and some commentary, and I'm trying to get better at it. Oh, here's our friend. He's coming. She's coming. Sorry, she's coming. Canonically, it's a she, so you have to call her she. Okay? At least that's what I've been told. Yeah, I do some cool stuff. A lot of gaming. Pretty much just gaming. A lot of hodgepodge of different stuff in terms of games, and so that's a good reason to hit the button, you know. And I mean, it's free. You can unsubscribe anytime if you want. I upload daily, so if it's a little bit much, then it's okay. But I mean, if you're looking for the kind of daily, consistent uploads with commentary or without commentary, then this is the place. And now we've finished. We can go run around like the Aurora Borealis and make stars, and our she-fox friend is coming with us. And everything's better in the world. And credits roll. It's a really pretty game. Don't know if you could see there, but like, she has a real physical form too. And there's Bus. I don't know, I really enjoyed it, playing through it, just for the puzzles. And then achievement hunting was really fun as well, whereas normally the achievements are just such a pain in the fucking ass to get for a lot of games, especially the AAA ones. I find the indie games are much better about their achievement systems. Steam achievements, PlayStation achievements, whatever you want to call it. And that's just the end. You should definitely check it out if you have the time and the money and the motivation. It's not a hard speedrun. It's a very entry-level speedrun. And I'll see you in the next video, which will probably be another Minecraft commentary video. Or Doom, depending.